How did a civilization without cranes, without computers, without modern surveying equipment, align massive stone structures to the stars with a precision that still puzzles engineers today? No one handed them a blueprint. No satellite guided their measurements. Yet the math works. The angles hold. The alignments are real. That question does not have a clean answer. Not yet. And the more seriously you look at ancient Egypt, the more that single question multiplies into dozens of others, each one quietly unsettling in its own way. Some of these mysteries have been partially explained through decades of careful excavation and analysis. Others remain genuinely open, debated by serious scholars using real evidence. This is where we begin. Not with myth, not with speculation, just with a question left hanging in the air, exactly where it belongs. Ancient Egypt stands among history's most documented civilizations. Thousands of inscriptions, papyri, tomb paintings, and excavated artifacts have given researchers an extraordinary window into a world that flourished for over 3,000 years. And yet, the more carefully scholars examine the evidence, the more certain questions refuse to close. What follows is not mythology dressed as history, nor speculation presented as fact. These are 10 genuine, unsolved questions that professional archaeologists and Egyptologists continue to investigate through excavation, scientific analysis, and rigorous peer-reviewed research. Some answers are partially within reach. Others remain stubbornly out of grasp. All of them matter, because understanding what we do not yet know about ancient Egypt is just as important as cataloging what we do. Let us begin with the most iconic structure ever built. Secret number 1, and perhaps the most staggering of them all, the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Consider this: 2.3 million stone blocks, some weighing up to 80 tons, assembled with tolerances of less than 1 centimeter. Modern engineers have stood at this structure and struggled to explain how it was done. Archaeological evidence has given us real answers. We know a trained, organized workforce built it, not slaves, but skilled laborers. We have found their villages, their medical records, even their beer rations. What remains genuinely debated among mainstream scholars is the precise logistical system behind moving and placing stone at that scale, that consistently across decades. The how, in full detail, remains an open and serious question, and that brings us to secret number 2, which might be the most personally haunting mystery of all. The Great Pyramid was built as the eternal resting place of Pharaoh Khufu. Yet when excavators finally entered the king's chamber, they found an empty, lidless sarcophagus and absolutely nothing else. No mummy, no burial goods, no inscriptions, nothing. Egyptologist Zahi Hawass, former head of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, has confirmed through decades of excavation that every known chamber inside the pyramid has been thoroughly examined. What remains unresolved is whether Khufu was ever actually interred there, whether ancient tomb robbers removed everything, or whether undiscovered chambers still exist beneath the structure. The question is not dramatic speculation. It is a genuine archaeological gap that no one has yet closed. Now we arrive at secret number 3, and it involves the most iconic monument on the Giza Plateau, the Great Sphinx. The established Egyptological consensus places its construction during the reign of Pharaoh Khafre, around 2500 BCE. That dating is supported by archaeological context, historical records, and site analysis. But a separate conversation exists within geology. Robert Schoch of Boston University has argued that weathering patterns on the Sphinx enclosure suggest water erosion from heavy rainfall, pointing to a potentially earlier origin, possibly thousands of years before Khafre's reign. This remains a minority scientific view, not accepted by mainstream Egyptology, and the debate continues without resolution. What makes the Sphinx equally puzzling is purpose. Who or what was it originally meant to represent, and why was it built at all? That question remains genuinely open. Now, secret number 4 takes us inside the Temple of Hathor at Dendera, where a carved stone ceiling once displayed something extraordinary, a complete map of the ancient sky. This artifact, known as the Dendera Zodiac, was removed by French explorers in 1821 and now rests in the Louvre in Paris. Egyptologists have confirmed through careful analysis that it dates to the Ptolemaic period, roughly 50 BCE, placing it well within documented Egyptian history. The carving depicts constellations, planetary positions, and celestial events with remarkable accuracy. What continues generating scholarly debate is not its age, but its purpose. Was it a ritual calendar, an astronomical record, or something more symbolic? The precise alignments embedded within it suggest a level of intentional astronomical knowledge that researchers are still working to fully decode and understand. Secret number 5 takes us to one of history's most dramatic political implosions. Around 2150 BCE, the Old Kingdom, the same centralized Egyptian state that built the pyramids, collapsed with startling speed. Researcher Felix Höfelmeier and other paleoclimatologists have pointed to compelling archaeological and environmental evidence suggesting a prolonged drought swept across the region, triggering widespread famine and social breakdown. Regional governors, once loyal administrators, began seizing independent power as the central government lost its grip. What makes this mystery genuinely unsettling is not simply that the collapse happened, but how completely and how quickly it did. A civilization capable of organizing millions of labor hours across decades simply fractured. Scholars still debate the precise sequence of causes, and the collapse remains a sobering reminder of how fragile even the most organized human systems can prove to be. Secret number 6 takes us to one of ancient Egypt's most unsettling chapters. Around 1350 BCE, a pharaoh named Akhenaten did something no ruler had ever attempted. He dismantled Egypt's entire religious system, abolished the traditional pantheon of gods, and replaced centuries of polytheistic worship with devotion to a single deity, the Aten, the solar disk. He then abandoned the ancient capital of Thebes and built an entirely new city at a site now called Amarna. Archaeological excavations at Amarna have confirmed the scale of this transformation. Yet, after his death, his successors demolished his temples, defaced his inscriptions, and removed his name from official records. What remains unresolved is the motivation behind that erasure. Was it theological, political, or something more personal? The answer, despite decades of excavation, has never been fully settled. Nefertiti, one of ancient Egypt's most iconic queens, ruled alongside Akhenaten during the Amarna period. Yet despite her prominence in art and inscription, her tomb has never been conclusively identified. In 2015, British Egyptologist Nicholas Reeves proposed a striking theory. Analyzing high-resolution radar scans of Tutankhamun's tomb in the Valley of the Kings, Reeves identified what appeared to be concealed doorways behind the decorated walls, suggesting hidden chambers that might contain Nefertiti's burial. The Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities commissioned follow-up ground-penetrating radar surveys, but results proved contradictory, with different teams reaching different conclusions. No hidden chambers have been confirmed. The question remains genuinely open. For a queen whose face is among the most recognized in all of human history, the absence of her final resting place is a striking silence. Is she still waiting, undisturbed, somewhere beneath the Valley of the Kings? In the autumn of 2020, Egyptian archaeologists working at the Saqqara necropolis south of Cairo made one of the most significant burial discoveries in decades. Over 100 sealed wooden coffins were unearthed, untouched for approximately 2,500 years. Alongside them came gilded statues, intact burial shafts, and funerary artifacts in remarkable condition. The finds confirmed long-held understandings about late-period Egyptian burial customs, including the careful preservation of identity through inscription and ritual placement. Zahi Hawass, who led the excavation, described it as a major window into organized funerary culture at scale. But the more pressing question is what remains beneath the surface. Saqqara spans over 7 kilometers and remains largely unexcavated. Archaeologists openly acknowledge that the site may still contain discoveries that will reshape what we think we already know. And then there is the Osirion at Abydos, a structure that quietly defies easy explanation. Built during the reign of Seti I, around 1200 BCE, this subterranean granite complex sits beneath the ground near Seti's own mortuary temple. It was dedicated to Osiris, god of the dead and resurrection. What makes it genuinely puzzling is its architectural language. Where New Kingdom construction favored decorated surfaces, inscribed walls and layered ornamentation, the Osirion is stark, massive, and almost severe in its simplicity. The granite blocks used are enormous, and the overall style feels closer to Old Kingdom or even pre-dynastic construction methods. Some Egyptologists have raised the possibility that Seti built on far older foundations. That question has not been resolved. What remains is a structure that sits slightly outside its own historical moment, still waiting for a complete explanation. Our 10th secret moves from stone and sand into something harder to excavate: belief itself. The Egyptian Book of the Dead, more accurately translated as the Book of Coming Forth by Day, is a collection of funerary spells compiled over centuries. Scholars like E.A. Wallace Budge produced foundational translations in the late 1800s, while more recent translators like Raymond Faulkner have refined our understanding considerably. What these texts describe is elaborate: the weighing of the heart against the feather of Ma'at, judgment before Osiris, navigation through the Duat underworld. But here is the question serious Egyptologists still wrestle with. Did ancient Egyptians understand these as literal events awaiting them after death, or as symbolic frameworks for understanding transformation? The answer remains genuinely unresolved, and that uncertainty reveals something profound about the distance between ancient consciousness and our own. Every secret explored in this video points toward the same conclusion. Ancient Egypt is not mysterious because it was magical or because some outside force guided its builders. It is mysterious because it was a fully realized human civilization, one that pushed organized effort, collective knowledge, and institutional memory to their absolute limits. The pyramids, the collapsed kingdoms, the erased pharaohs, the unfinished tombs, these are not puzzles left by beings beyond our understanding. They are puzzles left by people who understood their world deeply, built within it ambitiously, and left behind more questions than answers, precisely because they operated at the outermost edge of what human beings, working together across generations, are capable of achieving. We are not catching up to something alien. We are catching up to ourselves. Modern archaeology has transformed what we can know about ancient Egypt, Ground-penetrating radar now maps buried structures without lifting a single stone. DNA analysis of royal mummies has rewritten family trees that scholars debated for generations. Neutron tomography peers inside sealed artifacts without opening them. These are not small achievements. And yet, a pattern keeps emerging. Every answered question seems to surface 2 or 3 new ones. A newly opened tomb raises fresh debates about dating. A translated inscription contradicts an established timeline. Researchers working at Saqqara in 2020 found coffins that immediately prompted entirely new lines of inquiry. This is not a failure of archaeology. It is precisely what serious historical investigation looks like. The past does not surrender itself cleanly. It offers fragments, and the discipline lies in resisting the urge to fill the gaps with certainty that the evidence simply does not support. So, back to that opening question. How did they align those massive stones to the stars with such extraordinary precision? We still do not have a complete answer. But here is what we do know. The people who built those structures were not mysterious beings operating beyond human understanding. They were engineers, administrators, laborers, and thinkers who studied the sky for generations and applied everything they learned in stone. They built for permanence, not performance. They wanted their work to outlast every empire that followed, and in many ways, it has. The questions we carry about ancient Egypt are not signs of failure in our understanding. They are signs that the civilization itself was genuinely extraordinary. Keep asking. The sand still has more to say.